So what have we got here? Plasterboard. This is one of my least favourite building materials, and unfortunately it's actually used in most buildings throughout Australia and probably the world. It's a very simple construction with 2 pieces of cardboard sandwiching some plaster. Now the issue is this is incredibly soft and really easy to damage. Here we've got a big scratch, so I'm going to show you how easy and quick it is to fill these with IncredaFILL. Let's start with this scratch here. It's a pretty big gouge. You could have given it a quick sand beforehand, but all I'm doing is I'm working the paste along and filling the hole as well as I can. Now for a really deep hole, we can do this in layers. We don't need to go too deep with the light and penetrate. So now we hit it with the UV light and we're curing back and forth. So you can do it in a zigzag pattern or just slowly across the whole thing. Really it takes 2 to 3 seconds for the very surface, 10 to 15 seconds to get down deep. So you'll see that there is absolutely rock hard and cured, okay? And in fact, that's so rock hard and cured, that's ready for sanding, which is pretty impressive considering that's only taken me a few minutes. With a light sand, back and forth over the top. So as you can see, in less than a minute, I have filled that, I've cured it, I've sanded it, and now it's ready for painting. That's pretty impressive. So here's a dent, very typical of plasterboard. Again, really easily fixed. Come over here, some IncredaFILL, we fill the hole. Now what I'll do here is I'm going to show you how we can do a double pass very, very quickly. So I slightly underfill that. That's okay. I've underfilled it on purpose. I'm going to come over here and just cure that one spot. There's nothing worse than having to sand off excess filler. We now get the IncredaFILL and we come back over. That's now a dry surface, so it's got something to go onto. Unlike other fillers, that would just all start pushing out because the other filler's not dry. Again, we can hit that with a light. Rock hard and ready to be sanded. A hole like this is a challenge. So the other day, my son had a friend over. He slammed the door open in the bedroom. The door handle went straight through the plasterboard. It can happen so easily because this stuff really is soft. To fix something like this, you really need a patch like this. Now you can get these from the local hardware store and they're really easy to apply. You literally just pop it over the hole. This one's obviously a bit big. You could cut it to be a bit smaller and you just literally place that over the hole. Not going to look great. We need to smooth that off and sand it. So I'm going to take the IncredaFILL again. I'm going to just go over the top of this with some IncredaFILL. How easy that is to smooth on and go over. Just applying a very thin coat, a smooth coat, you can just keep smoothing that until you're happy. The one thing you've got to love about IncredaFILL, as I'm doing this, don't be worried about doing it fast. It will not dry until the UV light hits it and cures it. I could leave this over the weekend, come back on Monday morning, and it's still going to be wet like this and go change my mind saying, actually, I don't want to do that anymore and take the whole thing off without any issues whatsoever. As I say, unless the light hits it, it doesn't cure. Plenty of time to work, no problems there. I'm going to do this as a zigzag pattern, just a slow zigzag across in total. So if you do a couple of passes, that's usually enough. Now that has to be the most amazingly quick patch job you have ever seen. That is cured, rock hard, and ready to sand. So a couple of quick sands, I'm painting that and I'm going to the pub for a beer. That's ready to go.